Hi everyone, in this video we're going to learn on how you can use the alter statement in the SQL to make changes to the columns that exist in a table. Now you can either add, delete or modify columns, and you can also change the constraint and other properties of a table. The syntax is pretty simple. We use the keyword alter followed by the table, and then we define which table we want to make changes, and then we are given with three options. Either we can write add, modify or drop depending upon our needs, and then we write the column name and the data type. Now what does add do? If you use the add keyword, you can add a new column to the table. If you use modify or alter column, you can make changes to the columns, data type, default values and other properties. And if you drop the column, it is going to that column will be removed from the table entirely. So let us go to our PG admin once again. And since we are going to do so much of changes, let us create a new table. We are going to call it create table and we're going to name it information. Here we are going to have three columns. The first one is going to be info ID. It is of the type serial. I'm going to fix the typo. And since it is of serial, why? Because we want it to be a primary key column. And then we are going to have a title. It will be of data type varchar and it can have up to 500 characters and it is going to be not null. Remember, not null is a constraint. And then finally we are going to have another column that will be person. It will also be of varchar type and it will have up to 50 characters limitation, and it's also going to be not null. At the same time, it is also going to be unique. So create table information, info ID, title and person. Let us run it. All right, query returned successfully. So we are going to say select star from information and let us run this table. We now have info ID, title and person name. The first thing that we're going to do here is actually rename the table. So what we can do is we are going to say alter keyword table, then the table we want to make change, we are going to say the information table, and since we want to rename it, we are going to use the keyword rename followed by two keyword, and now we are going to give a new table name, that is new info. Run it, and now if you try to run maybe the select star from information, it is going to give you an error because it says it does not exist. Why? Because we just changed the column, the table name, and the table name was new info. Now if you run that, then we get the output. Let us go a step ahead and try to change the name of the column, and how we can do that is pretty simple and straightforward. Again, we are going to use the keyword alter table. What is the table name? New info, right? And now we are going to say rename column. That's what the keyword we are going to use. We want the person column to be renamed to people. Let us run it. Okay, it says table run successfully, and what I can do is actually I can go to my query history and copy the query to the query editor, run it, and you now see that the column name has been changed from person to people. Finally, what we could also do is we could change the constraint of a column. If you remember, this people column has two constraints, not null and unique. So what we are going to do now is we are going to remove the not null constraint from the people column. And how we're going to do it? Very simple. We are going to use our alter keyword and say alter table. Then which table do we want to alter? We want to alter the new info table, and here we want to alter the column people, that is the column that we have, and here we are going to say drop not null. If you want to assign a constraint, instead of drop you're going to use the keyword set, but since the constraint of this column is already not null, we are going to say drop and then run it, and query returned successfully. Now if you try to add the value in this table and do not provide any value to the people's column, it is not going to give you the error. That is all you can do with alter column. If I say that, that's going to be wrong, because if you check the PostgreSQL documentation, you can find a lot of things that you can do with the alter keyword or a statement. So go ahead and explore more of the alter properties and columns and tables that you can do with. And you don't have to memorize everything, but this is how the alter works. Just remember the syntax and its function, and then you can always take the help of documentation when you're working on a project. That is all we have in this video, and in the next video we're going to learn on how you can use the drop statement.